Frankly, you and Paimon are the only people I know here.
This here is Dainsleif, colleague of Teyvat's greatest guide, Paimon, and greatest adventurer, the Traveler. Well, not exactly colleagues, more sort of friends.
There are figures in Teyvat who are not merely actors on its stage, but living echoes of its history. Dainsleif is one such echo. His sudden appearances are never a coincidence, they are an omen, a sign that the world is about to change.
The world will soon follow.
When he comes looking for us, it's usually something important. Paimon's guessing you've heard about the Wild Hunt, then.
From the looks of it, you're about to hold a meeting. If I were to say that the Wild Hunt is our mutual enemy, would that earn me a seat at the table? Is there something you'd like to say to me?
Yeah! For starters, why'd you just show up here without even giving us a heads up?
If you think back to our previous interactions, you may recall that that's hardly out of character for me.
You do have a point there. Oh yeah! You'll need to find somewhere to stay the night too, right? Want to tag along with us? You never know. We might get a group discount.
Sure, let's do that.
Great! Paimon will handle it! And in return, we can get Dainsleif to be our very own personal bodyguard.
If that's what you had
His
in mind,
mission
you
this
should have
time was
said
not
so
for the
sooner.
world, but for a
I'd be
single
happy to
soul,
help.
Rerir, the one now known as the Racher of
I
Solnari.
was only kidding.
A friend from his distant
But you know,
past, lost to the
anyway,
corrupting power of the
since we're all
Abyss.
here together, we might as well watch each other's backs. That's just what friends do, right?
Indeed. Thank you.
You think I haven't got enough on my hands as it is? Who's looking for me now?
That would be me, Miss Nefer. I have a commission for you.
And you are?
Who I am doesn't matter right now. What does matter is that I'd like you to gather more intelligence about the Racher of Solnari.
Well, it's not as if we never take on anonymous commissions. But in your case, I'll have to decline. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say your job's probably more hassle than it's worth. Something about you seems like bad news.
It's my eyes, isn't it?
Khaenri'ah, I assume. And what's with the mask? Are you trying to hide your identity? In any case, the fact that you're even still alive raises an awful lot of questions for me.
My name is Dainsleif. And yes, I am from Khaenri'ah. As I'm sure you're aware, the Racher of Solnari's real name is Rerir. He was once an acquaintance of mine.
To understand Rerir's fall, Dainsleif did the unthinkable. He opened the darkest chapter in Teyvat's history and gave names to the architects of Khaenri'ah's sin.
Point was simply to clarify why I have asked Miss Nefer to investigate Rerir's background.
So you're both from Khaenri'ah, and it sounds like you used to be friends. What am I missing here? Surely you already know how he became one of the Five Sinners.
I'll tell you everything I know. The history of Khaenri'ah, the names and identities of the Five Sinners. I remember it all like it was yesterday. I have never spoken openly of this before. But the truth was exactly as people say. The Five Sinners were each driven by their own desires, and it was by playing upon these that the Abyss tempted them to their fall, tearing Khaenri'ah apart in the process.
Let's pause here for a while. Have you ever wondered what happened?
But how did these brilliant minds, the very pillars of Khaenri'ah, become branded as sinners? Their story is not one of simple greed, but of tragic defiance. It began with an act of brutal tyranny. The visionary, Vedrfolnir, had his eyes gouged out by the Vinster King and was thrown into the depths of the castle dungeons. In that desperate moment, a pact was forged. Dainsleif and his friend Rerir stood with the greatest minds of their nation's Sertalogy, Proptatir, and Rheindotter. Their goal was righteous, to storm the castle and save their friend. But this singular act of rebellion, this challenge against a cruel fate, would become the spark that ignited the flames of their nation's downfall, sealing their destiny and branding them as the Five Sinners for all eternity. The visionary, Vedifenir, who wished to foretell the future. The wise, Haroptatir, who sought limitless knowledge. Gold, Rhindaughter, who desired to create life. The foul, Surtologi, who pursued supreme strength. And last, but not least, Racher of Solnari, Rerir, Ravager of the Moon. Of the five, Rerir is the only one who remains a mystery to me. He never harbored grand ambitions, so what changed in the space of a single night? How did he come to fall like the others?
In other words, you're saying that his change came as a shock to you, and you have no idea what actually happened?
That's right.
You mentioned how the Abyss tempted them, which led to their fall. But what did that look like in practice? And what other context can you give me about the events of that time? The more detail you can give me, the better.
Strangely, now that it comes to it, I hardly know where to begin. The fateful night took place during the era of the Eclipse Dynasty. One day, my elder brother, the visionary, Vedifenir, was summoned to the palace by the Vinster King, only for the king to gouge out his eyes and cast him into the dungeons. When I came to hear of this, my fury knew no bounds. I gathered together every ally I thought I had, and together, we set a night to storm the palace and free Ved. Centuries on, the memories of that night still haunt me like a never-ending nightmare. We broke through the palace gates, just like we had planned, each striking towards our separate targets. But then, I was betrayed. Even Vedifenir, the very person I had come to rescue, abandoned me and partook of the Abyss's power.
So, it's personal after all. Then tell me, Mr. Dainsleif, what price are you willing to pay? You, of all people, must know that nothing comes for free.
I cannot say what price would be worthy of such a commission. But know this. Rerir was not always a madman. Believe it or not, there was a time when he was just an ordinary man, working for the Khaenri'ah Intelligence Service. Uncovering the truth of Rerir's past is the only way to unravel this mystery. But before you decide if you will accept my commission, I will tell you more about him. Enough, I hope, to help you plan your next move. Hey, Rerir! Come out, it's urgent!
Dane? What's wrong?
Quick, come with me. I'll explain everything once we've met up with the others.
Okay, I'll come. But the Lindis is still over at the Universitas. I'll need to leave her a note.
All right then, but make it quick.
I've never seen Dane so worked up before. Whatever this is, it must be big trouble.
Well, this is a nice change, meeting you all at this hour. When men and women of ambition can speak face to face in broad daylight, I say that's a big step forward for our dear Khaenri'ah.
Don't be ridiculous. We do not fear the day. Why would we seek refuge in the night?
You might ask your blade that same question. I'm told it prefers the cover of darkness. The word on the street is that Surtologi only strikes when he has an unfair advantage. But that is patently false. I see you're missing an arm and a leg. Surely only a fair fight could explain that.
If this is your way of offering me replacement limbs, believe me, I'll take them.
Oh, we can certainly discuss that. With bioalchemy, anything is possible. Assuming I have your full support in my research.
Lunatic. Raptatir, what brings you here?
Why, Dainsleif, of course. He invited me. Please, cast aside your apprehensions, Miss Rhine-daughter. Whatever the rumors may say, I am but a humble servant of the king, and I can assure you he affords me no greater convenience than he does you.
Well, the Universitas Magistrorum won't stop fawning over you. So at least some of the rumors must be true. You're clearly doing well for yourself, so drop the humble servant act. It endears you to no one. You're president of the Universitas Magistrorum, the chief royal mage known as the Wise by royal appointment, and by far the most favored among the 4 pillars of Khaenri'ah. Vice President Veit doesn't even try to hide his envy when he sees you.
My success is the product of hard work and good luck. It's as simple as that. Were the king not such an extremist, I hardly think I would have received a senior post at my age. Of course, no job is without its gripes. Serving a king like ours can be a challenging task, as I'm sure you can imagine. And as for Veit, in missing out on the presidency, he's dodged a mountain of stress. Like everything else in life, it comes with pros and cons.
You're all here. I apologize for the short notice, but it was an emergency.
You must be Rerir.
Mr. Elegy. Yes, I handled your case file during your sentencing. Nothing personal, of course. I'm pleasantly surprised that you remember me.
You're clearly a person of substance if you've been invited here. But Dainsleif, you'd better have a very good reason for convening this little gathering.
It's my brother, Vedalfenir. After he spoke at the court this morning, the king was so infuriated by his words that he had him blinded in both eyes and thrown in prison.
Vedalfenir in prison? Strange. I thought the king trusted him and Raptatir more than anyone else in the world. Does this mean the king's circle of trust just got even smaller?
It has nothing to do with trust. It's about what the king wants, which is as clear as day to anyone paying attention. I simply appease him, because it's in the best interests of the Universitas Magistrorum.
And also because you're slimy. Vedalfenir, perhaps less so. But still, a visionless visionary? It rather inclines me to think that qualifications are not what get you ahead in Khaenri'ah.
Do you honestly think this is an important discussion to be having right now?
Dane, what are you planning to do?
Rescue Vedalfenir, I assume.
Correct. It will mean storming the palace by force. Tonight. I need all of you on my side.
That's far too dangerous. And don't forget, Dainsleif, you're captain of the Royal Guard. You swore an oath to the throne.
You've been planning this for a while, haven't you?
I have no desire to commit treason. But whatever critique the king may have of Vedalfenir, disfiguring your most loyal subject for putting the best interests of his court and nation first, this is not the conduct of a wise ruler. My blade will force the king to see the error of his ways.
So, Vedalfenir's prophecy enraged the king. I'm sure it wasn't what he wanted to hear, but if he won't take counsel even from the visionary, that is deeply troubling news. The extent of His Majesty's madness is now all too clear. The question is, how does a man like me get out of this situation unscathed? You have noble ambitions, Dane, but I'm afraid they don't do much for a guy like me. I'm not interested in saving the world. All I want is a letter of pardon.
Everyone, and stick to the plan.
Sir Dainsleif, what are you? Is this treason? You know what happens to those who betray the throne. Please, don't do this!
It is the king himself who has betrayed the throne. He has betrayed all of Khaenri'ah.
If you have any love left for justice in your heart, you should join me.
It's showtime. Dane and his group will handle the troops in the palace. Then Raptatir and Rhine-daughter will disarm the security measures. My job is to enter the prison and Rescue Vedifulnir. Stay safe. Wish me luck.
Look after my brother. Draw your blade. It is time for justice to prevail.
This place is filthy. And the smell is abominable. Clearly, the king doesn't allow his prisoners a single shred of dignity. This is dire. Found you. Hello, Mr. Vedifulnir.
Ah, it's you.
Surprised? Oh, wait. I guess surprise isn't an emotion that prophets feel very often.
I certainly felt some surprise in the moment when I was blinded. Surprise at the king's sheer ignorance. Surprise at just how unfairly this world responds to words of earnest remonstration.
I'm curious. What did you prophesize this time?
It wasn't a prophecy. It was a word of warning. Someone had to say it. The king has forsaken all reason in pursuit of his obsessions. I simply told him that if he continues on this path, Khaenri'ah will surely fall.
But he didn't listen. Worse still, he stabbed you in both eyes and locked you away. Dane asked for my help. The court is in complete chaos now, but I'm sure you predicted that.
Everything is transpiring as I foresaw, yet I am powerless to change it. Fate is an immutable force. I can but lament as the inevitable unfolds. I do wonder whether giving a man the power to see the future does nothing more for him than slowly crush his spirit.
Forgive my curtness, Vedifulnir, but the king did not suddenly turn on you today. His suspicions have been brewing for a long time. You can't have wisdom beyond the reach of your fellow man without attracting his fear and suspicion. There are things the king does not want to see. So, he doesn't want you having visions of them either. He blinded you because he thought this would make the visions stop.
He wasn't entirely wrong. I did indeed lose my power to see the future. Right up until...
Until what?
Just now. I believe I saw something new.
Well, tonight could go a lot of different ways. 5 of us banded together to storm the palace, also we could rescue you. This will go down as the most tumultuous day in Khaenri'ah history.
I sense hatred in you, but also hope. A desperate hope that with the tyrant deposed, that will be the end of the story. But this is not the end. It is the beginning of a new chapter, in a whole new story. There are many men of honor and courage in this world, Rerir. But you are not one of them. You're not here for justice, are you? You're here for yourself. Is that a dagger? Interesting. Why not the polearm? It was always your weapon of choice.
With your abilities, I don't doubt that you were able to recover some of your sight. But I also doubt that you want to make an enemy of me right now.
Of course not. We're on the same side, aren't we?
We could be. But I need you to be honest with me, Vedifulnir. At this point, you're my only hope for the future.
You mean your future? With your beloved, Felindis?
Yes. And I know there are bigger things at stake here. A dynasty, a nation, maybe the entire world. But forgive me, I care first and foremost about myself. I can't abandon the one I love to save myself. I just can't do it. But you see a broader picture of the future than I. You see the solutions to the biggest problems of our age. So tell me, what is my solution? What's the answer?
In matters of fate, answers are either right or wrong. What will be and what will not. Maybe you are willing to pay a certain price in the pursuit of happiness, but unfortunately, fate does not negotiate. That is the cruelest thing about fate. It is unmoved by your sacrifices.
That can't be true. I know it's your voice that I keep hearing in my head. urging me to see how the world is changing, to seek more power, so I can protect the things I love. You show me disaster, but you won't show me how to avoid it? Why? Why are you doing all this?
My voice. In your head. So, you hear it too? The voice that steals your mind, gains your trust, and drives you crazy. It turns out that we are not so different, you and I.
Fateful just broke into the strangest smile I've ever seen in my life, as if he'd discovered some monumental secret. But then he suddenly switched to looking extremely weary.
Very well then. My advice to you is as follows. You must persevere. Whatever trials and tribulations you may face, be steadfast in the belief that they are your path to the future. For as long as you live, your story with Thelindis shall not come to an end. That is the only chance you have of fighting back against fate. It is up to you whether you believe my words. Regardless, that is all I will say on the matter. I have no right to intervene any further.
I will hold you to your word.
Thank you for setting me free. In return, I will tell you one more thing that you cannot afford to ignore.
Just then, a strange wave of energy rippled through the city. We had no idea what it could mean.
If I were you, I would head to the Universitas Magistrorum.
The Universitas? Oh no!
I'm sure we'll be seeing each other again very soon, Rerir.
Whatever Fateful said, I didn't catch it. I didn't even help him out of the prison. There was no time to lose.
Rerir! So the rumors about your work are true.
What? No! Listen, something happened at the palace tonight. We have to leave!
You don't need to lie to me anymore.
What do you mean?
I know why you're worried, and I will respect the decision you've made. But it's okay, because I found a solution. I know how to end all this. You can have it back. The normal life you so desire. But until then, I'm afraid our wedding will have to wait.
Thelindis? No, don't do it! Thelindis! Thelindis!
I told you, Rerir. Let her go. You will find someone better.
No, I won't do it! I have to save her!
By what means exactly? A lowly pawn. You lack the power and the strength of will.
Do you know a way? Tell me!
Come to the palace. Join us.
Rerir, thank goodness we...
Step forth and take your share.
You made it.
Not you too.
Hatred or grief, despair, desire. We all have our own.
Rerir,
Glyndis?
Were you daydreaming? You still remember, Rerir? That question you asked me a couple of weeks ago?
Oh. You mean the proposal?
Yeah. I'm wondering, where do you think would be a good place to discuss it? Maybe in the garden? Or were you thinking a fancy restaurant?
It's your choice. I will find you. And then, you can give me your answer.
Timed that pretty well, didn't I? It's okay. I'm just glad no one was hurt. Paimon noticed you doing something too, Dainsleif. Were you helping get them out?
Of course. When I asked Nefer to conduct this investigation, I was not naive to the dangers involved. I had a duty to ensure your safety.
Good to know your sense of justice is still intact after all these years.
I take that to mean that you saw the truth. That comes as a great relief.
I certainly did. And thanks to your help, I also managed to trap Rerir inside the chess set.
Whoa, really? How'd you manage that?
Well, to be honest, I sensed that something was wrong long before we made it to the temple. By using this fragment to probe into Rerir's past, well, the monster formerly known as Rerir, it seems I alerted him. I was tracking him, then he caught on and started tracking me too. Can't say I'm surprised.
But how did he track you through your thoughts alone? That shouldn't be possible.
Rerir was a secret agent who reported directly to the Vinster King. He is an expert at finding a trail and hunting down his pursuers.
No wonder.
He infiltrated the chess set, read my thoughts, and built a new virtual chess set inside of it. That's why we weren't able to leave at first.
Speaking of your chess set, it's quite a remarkable item. Would I be right in thinking you have some connection to King Deshret?
You overestimate me. I only have a connection with one of his underlings, the Ibis King. You all saw how this came to be. A long time ago, the Iab massacred my tribe, the Shimti, in our home village. A few years later, I enrolled in the academia, where some new information came to light. The Unut and the Iab fought a bitter battle over the rights to a well, all for the sake of a non-existent 50 million Mora. The Iab ultimately won that confrontation, but their victory came at the cost of almost every warrior in the tribe. The final blow to the Iab came at the victory feast, when an Unut assassin beheaded their chief right before my eyes. The remaining Iab fled and have been scattered to the winds ever since. Having gotten my revenge, I returned to my hometown, where to my surprise, the nearby temple was still standing. There it was, seemingly immune to the relentless hostility of the desert, while my tribal home lay in ruins. As I stood there gazing at the temple, I noticed a cat just outside. This cat, as it turned out, was home to the spirit of the Ibis King. He led me to a gate deep inside the temple, And there, he made a deal with me. This chess set is my gift from the Ibis King. The chessboard within is made to the same specifications as the one in the mausoleum of King Deshret, and represents his power of piercing analysis. With this chessboard in its container, I gained a certain ability to perceive hidden secrets. Now, you could conclude that the Ibis King simply wanted to give the people of this world the power to seek the truth, but I don't believe that's the full story. Every god plays favorites. Their hearts are as fickle as any human's, full of secrets, perversions, egotistical tendencies. But precious few gods are willing to admit this.
It is the same with all powerful forces, including fate itself. Their gaze falls preferentially upon a select few. As you rightly point out, this is an act of favoritism.
If you're alluding to the Abyss, then yes, I agree. Gather the others. It's time to share everything I've learned.
Something on your mind?
Miss Columbina, was it? I believe that's how the others addressed you.
That's right. Names are funny things. Have you always been called Dainsleif?
Yes. I take it your own name has a more complicated history.
I have a different relationship with names than other people. To be honest, I'm not even sure that Columbina is my name. At least, not in the same way that Dainsleif is yours. But it's what everyone calls me, and I go along with it. A lot of my life has been that way. I get so used to things that I forget to question why they are so. I never used to think much about where names come from, or what they mean to people. Maybe something's wrong with me.
You're different from other people. I sensed it the first time we met.
You're more perceptive than most. I'm sure your long life and rich range of experience explains that. Do you ever find yourself missing Khaenri'ah, Mr. Dainsleif?
Difficult to answer. I have dreamed of the past many, many times. Sometimes I'm fighting tooth and nail. Other times I'm lying on the ground, defeated. I don't recall any happy moments from that time. It has been too long.
Is that because hatred survives longer than love and affection?
That would not be for me to say. I make no excuses for the grudges I bear. But whatever the reason, I remember little that was beautiful or sentimental. Thank you for your help with the Rerir situation. Without your efforts, I never could have learned the hidden truth of his story.
You're welcome. I know he's your friend.
Friend? He betrayed me. And I never really understood what he was going through in life. Some friendship, that is.
Okay. So, do you plan to fight him with us? You see, you're torn. Now you know what really happened. You see the things he's done in a new light.
I need some time.
Of course. I completely understand. Anyone else in your position would feel conflicted too. Actually, I went through something similar myself recently. Something happened that changed my perspective on a situation. A situation I took for granted at the time, but now I feel very grateful for it.
You mean the Harbingers who still support you, even though you've left the Fatui?
Yes. I always thought they were only helping me because Harbingers are forced to work together. But then I abandoned them. A warrant was even put out for my arrest. And even now, they still support me. Which means I was wrong about them all along.
Clearly, they view you as a friend.
I feel a little guilty now. I regret not seeing her help for what it was, and not treasuring it. I see the guilt that you're feeling now, because I feel it too. Hopefully, talking about it will do us both some good. Have you noticed that the Traveler and Paimon are over there? I think they've been listening.
Huh. Shall we say hello?
Sure. Hello. Ah! They caught us!
I apologize for making you worry. No doubt you wish to know where I stand on the plan to take down the Racher of Solnari. I'm afraid I need a little time, but I will seriously consider joining you.
You will? Oh, thank you so much! Everyone will be so grateful to hear that!
They needn't be. This was something that I was going to have to face up to eventually.
That doesn't matter to them. They're grateful to you regardless. You can't control their gratitude, so just accept it. And then, have a think about whether you're willing to join us.
Goodbye, Rerir.
In the end, his duty was not one of vengeance, but of mercy. A final act of friendship to sever the chains of the abyss and bring peace to a tormented soul. With a final goodbye, another chapter of Khaenri'ah's sorrowful elegy comes to a close. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more adventure in Teyvat.